I would highly, highly recommend you do not live in Burke.
All right, Ted, wave goodbye to everybody. What's going on, everybody? So in today's video, we are going to be talking about what we love and hate about Burke, Virginia. So my name is Jeff Layton. I've been a real estate agent for the last 15 years here in Northern Virginia. This is Will. He works with Pruitt Title, and he actually lives in Burke, Virginia. So we're going to be giving you two perspectives here as a real estate agent and as an actual resident who just bought a house recently here over the last few years, a couple years ago. 2 years ago?
2023. So
2023.
3 years ago.
Okay, hot market. We got a dog barking in the background here. So number one, Burke was recognized as the #1 place in all of Virginia to live and top 100 nationwide, so by U.S. News. So just to start off with, I think that's a pretty cool thing to say. You know, you live in the #1 place in the state and a top 100 place nationwide.
I think so. I think it's really cool if you've got a family. I'm 28, single guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if Burke is the place to live for me.
And we'll talk about that, but yeah, I think you're the only single young guy that lives in Burke.
I think you're right, dude.
Well, the second thing we love about Burke, or just in terms of what people love about Burke, are the top-rated Fairfax County schools. So it is a huge draw to the community. You know, great schools. We can't talk too much about schools being in the real estate industry, but just with housing laws and everything.
But I mean, you know, it matters if you have kids.
But yeah, it's a huge reason why people choose Burke as the top-rated schools. Next up is the family-oriented community. So a lot of times when people move to Burke, they want that safe, quiet, you know, residential neighborhood that still has like community events, you know, still relatively close to shopping, not too far outside of the city. So that is another big draw.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. I would say though, like it doesn't have the density of restaurants that Arlington does.
Of course not. No, it's
You know,
yeah.
but yeah,
You don't go to Burke for the restaurants.
It would be great if I had kids that needed to use parks and like go to the walking trail and safely be able to walk to school.
Right.
I just have none of that.
Right.
You
So
know?
it's very scenic, very quiet. Yeah, you're always in the city. I saw you in DC on the metro the other day. It was funny. We ran into each other on the metro.
We did.
So you go to a lot of concerts. So let me ask you this: so when you're going to DC, how do you typically get there if you want to go to nightlife and stuff like that? Because Burke doesn't have any nightlife.
Here's the truth. Here's the plain hard truth. All right, if you want to go out in Arlington and DC, and that's like a lifestyle of yours, I would highly, highly recommend you do not live in Burke.
Right, of course.
Okay, because it's a lot, you know. It's a 30-minute Uber.
Okay, so you Uber.
Yeah, Uber.
Okay,
Uber. I mean, you can use the commuter train.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not very practical.
The VRE.
Yeah, the VRE.
So we'll talk. The VRE. A lot of people use that for obviously commuting to if you want to commute to the Pentagon, commute to DC,
which it is great for. A lot of people do that.
If you want to go to concerts in DC and you go out a lot like this guy. You know, Burke might not be. You probably want to live a little bit closer
to a metro.
But yeah, if you want that great, quiet family lifestyle, yeah, Burke is
for
incredible.
Sure. 100%.
So next up, as far as the affordability, so Burke is going to be significantly more affordable than McLean, Arlington, Vienna. So you can get more house for your money. You don't have to spend, well, now it's pretty much do have to spend $1 million, but you don't have to spend $2 million or even 1.5 typically to get a nice single family house in Burke.
That's not true.
You can get houses under $1 million.
700, 690, 700, 715.
What? For a house?
For all those single family houses that you drove past here, they're like between 700 and 850.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You can get a house for under $1 million.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's going to be much more affordable. If you want that affordability and still want, you know, a good lifestyle, Burke is just a great place for that.
It's actually part of the reason I chose to live here, because I was looking at, like, you know, in Arlington they've got a lot of those townhouses, but they're zoned as condos.
Yeah.
And I was heavily debating buying one of those. And I just didn't. I thought that the investment of buying like a townhouse where, I mean, I can sell this to a family.
Yeah.
There's a good school down the street. I just feel like it's a much better investment.
Yeah. And the resale value with Burke is great because you just have that combination of it's scenic, it's green, it's close by, it's easy commuting, it's affordable, great schools. So if you're thinking about buying and maybe you're only going to be here like 5 years or so, you know, we always recommend holding on for a longer term, ideally longer than 5 years, but the resale value in Burke is usually pretty good.
Well, my goal, like even from the beginning, it's like I want to live here 4 or 5 years. You know, I've got my buddy in my basement. He helps me pay my mortgage. And then, you know, I'm going to get like 6 or 7 years in and I'm like, you know, like I'm going to move I'll keep it, I'll rent it, and then I'll move to Arlington.
Yeah, it's a great place. Yeah, build up some equity. You get that resale value, and then you can move up to Arlington. A lot of people actually, start in Arlington in like a condo or apartment, and then they move out to Burke once they, I guess get married, kids, whatever, and they want that green space. So you see a lot of that, but you're doing the opposite. You're building up your equity in Burke, and then you're gonna buy the penthouse in Arlington.
Yeah, dude, you get it.
Cool. All right. Also, yeah, as far as the houses, you're gonna get larger lots, and more practical houses out in Burke. That some houses in Arlington might be a little bit smaller, but here you're gonna have like better single family lots, a little bit more space. You can get that 3,000 square foot single family house for under $1 million, whereas in Arlington, McLean, those areas it's going to be significantly higher. Burke is also mostly single family houses. Now you live in a townhouse. There's also condos, but it's I'd say maybe like 90% single family. But there's also some affordable townhouses and condo options as well. And again, you're going to have like more scenic backyards with these single family houses. And then a lot of these houses were built in like the 1970s, 1990s. So Burke was one of Northern Virginia's first like planned communities. So there's also like a lot of trails and stuff like that that kind of connect to each other.
So many. There's so many trails, dude.
Yeah.
They actually have signs on a lot of these trails where you can go bow hunting.
No way.
Yeah, for like 4 months out of the year.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, how do people know that like they're not on a bow hunting trail? Like, what if you're just going for a jog and someone comes out with a bow?
Anywhere. You can anywhere in Fairfax County during the like bow hunting season for I don't know what deer or whatever.
Yeah, we get a lot of deer. That was actually one of my points, is that because it's so green and wooded here, you actually get a lot of wildlife. So it could be a love-hate. I put it as something we love about Burke, but for some people they might not want the wildlife. But
I saw a 12-pointed antlered buck the other day.
It's buck season.
Driving out of this parking lot.
It's buck season in Burke. Yeah, so we have deer, foxes, hawks, migratory birds. If you're into bird watching, maybe you can see some nice birds around here. I don't know.
My brother-in-law, a huge bird watcher, he loves it here.
Yeah, I feel like bird watching is becoming more and more popular. I see a lot of people like kind of getting it. I haven't gotten into. I mean, I'll sit on someone's back deck and look at some birds, but I haven't really gotten hooked on it yet.
Nor have I.
And yeah, I meant to say we got kind of carried away there. But as far as the houses, so these were built 1970s, 1990s. Whereas in Arlington, you might have those like 1950s, 1940s houses. So these are going to be a little bit bigger, a little more functional types of property. But also, they might need some updating depending on, the house. You also have a lot of that green and wooded feel like we were talking about. So a lot of mature trees, wildlife sightings. Burke used to be farmland until the 1970s. So it used to be like very rural. And yeah, if you drive around Burke, especially in the springtime, it is like all green everywhere you go.
Yeah, they also have the HOAs, or at least there are 8 HOAs, I think, in Burke. Mm-hmm. And each one, or like they have a bunch of community pools.
Yep.
Which are sick.
Yeah, a lot of community pools. And one thing to actually keep in mind, though, is I've been into some Burke houses where there's so much green that it's almost like inside the house is kind of dark. So it's almost like too dark because there's so many trees and shrubbery, everything like that. So that's something you got to be aware of. Like if you want natural light, make sure there's not too many trees around.
Yeah,
there's always things you can do.
There are a lot of forests.
And I have another buddy of mine that actually lives. He lives right on the border of Burke and Springfield. And you do have to be careful with some of the trees, like falling into your house, basically. So he had to actually remove several of the trees. So that's something to keep in mind. If you have some dead tree close to your house, you might have those can be expensive.
Pretty costly, yeah.
I mean, usually it's going to be like
$20,000. 30.
Well, I was going to say minimum like $2,000 per tree. So that can definitely add up pretty quickly. Next up, something we love. A lot of it's so green here. I know we keep talking about this, but many of the streets in Burke are actually named after trees, flowers, natural. So it definitely has that organic green vibe. And that actually leads us to the next point. You probably go here all the time as a single guy. Burke Lake Park.
Oh, so dude, I was there Saturday.
You were there Saturday. Did you meet any nice women or anything?
I don't know if there are many women my age going to Burke Lake Park.
Okay. Well, It's at over 2,000 acres. We got a 12-mile trail. You should go on a date there or something. Play some mini golf.
Dude, me and my buddy have actually been talking about we got to go fishing at Burke Lake Park.
Yeah.
It's known it's like literally known to be one of the best fishing lakes in Northern Virginia.
We'll put some B-roll of Burke Lake, but it's not just some like.
We should have another YouTube video of us fishing
at Burke Lake.
In Burke Lake, dude.
I got to work on my fishing skills a little bit. I do watch a lot of Outdoor Boys.
Me too.
That's a great channel. But he's from Arlington.
Yeah. He was a DUI attorney before.
Yeah. So back to Burke Lake Park. So it's 12-mile trail. You got golf, mini golf, fishing, carousel, ice cream. More than 2,000 acres of woods, trails, and lakes. So it's a big outdoor hub in Northern Virginia. 18-hole golf course. There's disc golf. 12 miles of scenic walking. I already mentioned that. So it's great for Burke, but people from all around Northern Virginia actually come to Burke Lake Park as well. And the community, it's not just Burke Lake Park. You have multiple lakes and ponds. I think there's like 5, 6. There's a ton of ponds and
there are ponds. A bunch of ponds.
Maybe not a ton of lakes, but a ton of ponds around Burke. Next up, Burke is very dog friendly. We got a dog. This guy adopts dogs. Or no, you foster dogs.
them.
So there's a crazy, what kind of dog is that?
He's a mutt.
He's a mutt. There's a crazy mutt running around. We were going to have him in the video. Maybe he'll make a cameo at the end here. If you stay till the end of this video, we will include the dog. So watch until the end.
That's right. Little cliffhanger.
But basically, it's very dog friendly because you have so many parks and you have sidewalks and you have fields everywhere. If you have dogs, very dog friendly type of community. Next up, this could be a love or a hate. So there's a ton of HOAs here with pools, playgrounds, walking paths. So obviously if you get like someone in your HOA, that there's probably always one person in every HOA that wants to make sure you're not, staying up past 9:30 p.m. or something like that. You might have some strict people, but generally speaking, HOAs are pretty good, to make sure everything's in order.
Yeah, I haven't had any issues.
You have pools, playgrounds.
They take my trash away.
They take the trash away. So, it can be a good thing if you get in the wrong HOA. I'll just delete that part. But if you get next up, so you do have the master plan community option. So Burke Center is like the big HOA, I guess everyone thinks about.
It's so like the hub.
That's like the hub. You got pools, events, and it's master plan community with trails interconnecting everywhere. And this was one of Northern Virginia's first master plan communities. So it's kind of a cool,
I didn't
little
know
setup.
That.
Yeah.
This in Herndon.
Yeah. I think I would take Burke. I think I'd probably prefer Burke over.
Less gangs in Burke.
Yeah, I can't comment on that. Burke is great. Next up, another thing we love, extensive trail systems. We kind of mentioned that. So you can walk, bike, jog, whatever, between the different neighborhoods. Next up, it is car friendly. So you're just outside of the Beltway. So you have a lot of different ways you can get to like DC or get around Northern Virginia. It's kind of like a central.
Yeah, I'm like 10 minutes from 495.
Yeah. So if you were from Burke commuting to Arlington, it was about 20 minutes.
No, it's like 25 minutes.
25 minutes. Yeah. So it's not
without traffic.
Yeah, without traffic. So it's not right there, but you're not out in Centerville or Manassas or something.
My commute to work to Tyson's is typically it's about 25 minutes. Yesterday, 45 minutes.
Okay. From here to Tyson's.
Yes.
With traffic.
With traffic was crazy. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. So you have a lot of different ways you can get places, but you're not like you're not 5 minutes away. You're 5 minutes away from like grocery stores and stuff like that. But if you need to commute to Tyson's, DC, Arlington, it's going to be a little bit of a drive, but definitely a doable type of commute.
You know what's crazy?
What's that?
I saw this stat about like 93% of people in America live within 10 miles of a Walmart.
Really?
And there's a Walmart like a mile and a half from here.
Wow. I read the Walmart biography. That was an incredible book. If you want to it's like great for any type of business. The Sam Walton biography.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That guy's a savage, or was a savage. But it's basically a great business book. Just quick, easy to read, tons of great business principles. And straightforward commute to DC, Tyson's, Fort Belvoir, the Pentagon. There's a lot of military here, so you can use a car. You can do the VRE. There's buses. There's a lot of different options. A lot of people do that type of commute.
Well, that also is one of the reasons I bought this, because when I rent it out, I know I'm going to be able to find easily a military family, and they'll take care of the house. It'll be easy.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of military here. And then next up, another thing we love. There's a lot of local shopping centers. So you got kind of like these like strip malls. I guess strip mall sounds bad.
No,
but it's
like
kinda
there are some nice ones.
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
some nice ones. There are like 3 primary shopping centers, I would say.
Okay.
All on Burke Lake Park Drive.
Okay, so within like 5 to 10 minutes of you.
Yeah. You've got, Kava. You've got Chipotle. You've got everything. Chick-fil-A.
Got all the essentials. That's all you need right there.
Trader Joe's. I've got 2 Trader Joe's within 15 minutes.
Okay. Okay, so we got all the essentials within 5, 10 minutes. Like you're not going to be walking, like Clarendon, Arlington, you're going to be walking to the grocery stores. You're not going to be walking here, but it's going to be a short, manageable, 5 scenic drive with all the trees and greenery that we have around here. And that brings us to the next thing we love. You kind of touched on it. There's tons of parks, soccer fields, youth sports. If you drive along Braddock Road, you'll see signs for like AAU basketball, football, soccer. If you're into youth sports, again with the family, there's plenty of like outdoor activities around here.
Yeah, Burke youth leagues.
Yeah, there's tons of sports. Resale demand, we talked about this. Huge, great resale value here because you got great schools. It's usually pretty stable, so it's not this like boom and bust type of market that you see in some places.
Yeah, no, Lake Braddock is consistently a top 10 school in Northern Virginia.
Yep. So that's a huge. Next thing that we love about it, we talked about this a little bit, the VRE commuter rail access. So you have 2 VRE stations in Burke, and they get you right to go to Union Station, Alexandria, Union Station, DC.
Does it stop right in Old Town?
Yep. I think it was about a 45-minute commute taking the train, but there is those stations that you can get to the city and to Alexandria, the Pentagon, that kind of thing. Next up, this is just a fun little fact here. I don't know if you probably don't even know this. History. So if you're into Civil War history, Burke's location, there was a lot of Civil War. It wasn't like, Gettysburg Battle was here, obviously, but there was a lot of different Civil War activities, I guess you could say. Skirmishes, different events. I'll let the Civil War buffs look that up. But there's, in your backyard, you might find some Civil War artifacts.
That'd be crazy. Like a musket.
Yeah, that would be super cool.
Yeah.
My buddy in Arlington, he used to dig up, I think it was actually more like Native American stuff, but maybe it was Civil War stuff too. He'd always be finding artifacts in his backyard. Yeah.
That's sweet.
So you never know. Next up, another thing we love about Burke, strong community engagement. So you have HOA events, yard sales, block parties, farmers markets. I always say in my videos, like if you have a neighborhood with a farmer's market, that's a good resale, good type of neighborhood right there.
I do love the Burke farmers market, man. I mean, it's not active right now, but like when it gets warmer, right when the pool opens, man, every Saturday that farmers market is really fun.
What do you typically get at the farm?
They always have like a farm, like like a grass-fed farmer come with meat.
Okay.
They've got like a coffee shop, dude. They've got a bunch of cool stuff.
That's legit. Okay, I got to check it out.
Yeah, it's legit.
I've not yet been to the Burke Farmers Market.
Yeah, you ever get like real grass-fed, good, farm to table meat?
I need to do it more often. Every now and then. But
well, I'll meet you at the Burke Farmers Market.
Let's do it. Let's set it. Yeah, let's do it. You can bring your dog.
Yeah, dude.
Make it
next
a little,
video.
Let's do it this spring.
Let's do it, dude.
I'm down. Next up, something we love, and this is what a lot of people love about Burke. It has a very like low crime, safe type of feel. And then again, it's popular with like a lot of families, military families, that kind of thing. So overall, like as far as loves, before we get it, we're about to get into what we hate about Burke. But overall, it's going to be a great like balance of values, schools, commuting. It's a quiet, like practical, scenic area.
You hear the birds chirp.
Yeah.
It's not too much traffic.
You get a little more space.
You get more space.
Yeah.
Like, there are families all around.
Yep.
So if I had a kid,
yeah,
they would have some friends.
Yeah. I love that you bought in Burke and now you're moving to Arlington. Most people do the opposite.
It will eventually happen.
But yeah, this would be a great, as far as rentals, like there's not a lot of rental properties, so this would be easy to rent out. And you could hold on to this for a long time.
Forever.
Okay, now we're gonna talk about what we hate about Burke. And real quick, 10 seconds, if you are looking to buy or sell in the Northern Virginia area, reach out to my team and I below. We would love to assist you. We get calls, texts, emails all the time from people like you looking to move to the Northern Virginia area. So what do we hate about Burke? Number one, very car dependent.
extremely car dependent. You're not doing anything without a car.
So like if you're in Old Town, Delray, Arlington, you can walk to the coffee shop.
You can go to
You're
the
gonna
bar,
you
grab
can
some beers, you
home
can
from
walk
the bar.
home.
Yeah.
That's not happening here.
No. So there are like a lot of trails as far as like exercise and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but you're
Yeah.
typically like, you're not just gonna like walk to the restaurant or something like that. So it is very car dependent. You need a car. Rush hour traffic. What do we think about the rush hour traffic?
Bad.
It's bad.
Bad.
So you definitely have to plan that commute out. It's not like you're commuting from Ashburn to like DC or anything like that. So you're closer, but you gotta. It's not going to be a 15-minute commute. From Burke to Tyson's in rush hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, 35 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, and so and then Burke to Arlington without traffic is like 25 minutes.
With traffic, 50 minutes.
With traffic, 50 minutes. So let's rush
45 minutes,
Yeah.
50 minutes.
So that's something to keep in mind. Like you can take the VRE, obviously, which is going to be under an hour. So that's going to be a little bit more convenient if you don't want to drive. Next up, what do we hate about Burke? The limited nightlife. So there is nobody that is going to Burke for the nightlife.
We should look it up later, but
Yeah.
I bet you there are under like 50 people under 30 that own a house in Burke.
Yeah, that's might be. Yeah, we could actually look that up. There's ways to do that. But yeah, you're not going. There's no nightlife options in Burke. Actually, there is what's that one bar?
Glory Days?
No, there's another bar I go to with my buddy sometimes.
You're talking about that brewery.
No, it's more in Springfield, right next to Anita's.
Next to Anita's?
I think it's close to Anita's in that same shopping center. No, there's another one. I'd have
Where
to.
Lidl is?
It's like a
One Life
It's like
in
a
there?
sports bar, dive bar kind of place.
One Life is in there though.
I don't even remember.
Okay. But I think that's the same parking lot One Life Fitness is in.
Maybe.
Staples is there.
Yeah, we got a Staples here. So basically, there's no nightlife here.
Dollar General?
There's a couple dive bars, local bars, I
Yeah.
guess you could say.
Dude,
But
yeah.
think of Burke as like a quiet, sleepy type of place.
I'll tell you, I go to these bars, okay, and I never see anybody under 45.
If you go to a bar out in Burke, you'll see this guy here. He'll be by
He probably
himself. He
will.
might be trying to talk to some people. Say hello to him. He's a nice guy. So next up, we have the houses here. What we hate about Burke. Hate is a strong word, but it's going to be a little bit older housing stock. So like I said, a lot of these houses were built in the this was like farmland up until about like the 1970s. So a lot of the houses are like 1970s, 1990s. So they're going to need some updates. You might need a new roof. This house you bought, you needed a lot of updates.
Definitely. I think, when I bought this house, there was this like stat that was like, every new home buyer spends like 40 grand a year in unexpected costs.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that's probably like valid. Maybe like not 40, but like 20-ish, dude.
Yeah, and I mean some of the big expenses that you need to keep an eye out for, obviously like roof, HVAC, hot water heater, appliances,
Fridge.
Yeah, fridge. Those are going to be like when you're buying a house, the home inspector is usually going to like look at those pretty closely.
Well, if you get a home inspection, but I didn't because when I got my house during the market, it was very competitive. But getting at least like a walkthrough. I would have if I could do it over again, I would have gotten a walkthrough.
Yeah.
Like a walk and talk.
But you probably had a lot of offers on this house, right?
Yeah, that's why.
So, and that was another thing we hate about Burke is that it is a competitive market. So it's not unusual to have multiple offers. A lot of times what we do, when we're making offers, we'll do a pre-inspection where we get our home inspector in there. He'll do like a 1-hour walk and talk and kind of alert you if there's any major issues, and then you would make your offer without the home inspection contingency. So a lot of times we have to do that, or sometimes just waive home inspections completely. We just had like a 4 or 5 offer scenario. It was more Springfield, but close to Burke. So it's not unusual to have multiple offers in Burke. Actually, during the pandemic, I think it was the hottest. It was one of the hottest markets in the United States.
Yeah.
According to Redfin.
It was bumping.
Yeah, it was bumping. Next up, another thing we hate, there's a lot of HOAs, and then you have HOA fees. Like the HOA fees are not crazy. Yeah, they're not bad, but it's just...
I think I'd pay like $1,100 a year for an HOA.
And you're in a townhouse,
Yeah.
So they're not crazy, but it's always a good idea. Anytime you're buying HOAs or with condos, like kind of look at the history and see where they were 10 years ago, and that'll kind of give you a decent idea of where they're headed.
One thing that is interesting about Burke HOAs as opposed to like the rest of Fairfax County is most of Fairfax County, their trash is handled by Fairfax County, but like some specific parts with like the HOA of Burke Center included,
Yeah.
are private for-profit companies. So our like HOA has an agreement with Patriot Disposal,
Interesting. Okay.
which is like a private.
Yeah,
I don't know. And what's nice about it, it's and there's a positive and a negative. Okay. Positive is they come twice a week for trash, Monday and Friday.
Wow. Okay.
And once a week for recycling on Wednesday. The negative is like they're not quite as consistent as Fairfax County.
Yeah.
You know?
Interesting. You would think the private company would be better.
Yeah,
but,
you totally would. But
all right. So that's a fun fact there. Next up, the something we hate. So there's not a lot of like ton of like charming like little like stores, I guess you could say. I don't want to knock the stores, but it's basically like there's strip center retail basically. So it's not like you're going to Old Town to some like historic little cafe or something like that. So you have like different strip centers, strip malls around Burke, which have a ton of great amenities and restaurants and not a ton of restaurants, but grocery stores and things like that.
and you've got Springfield Mall you could go to. If you
Yeah,
want.
Springfield Mall is not too far away. But that leads me to the next thing, the restaurant scene in Burke. You don't go to Burke for the nightlife or the restaurants. Like there's a couple restaurants, I guess, local spots, but it's not like a foodie type of scene.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. No.
Now you could go to Annandale, which is not too far away, which is more of that foodie scene. Or of course, go to Tyson's, Arlington, Alexandria, DC.
Yeah,
But
you're not finding any 5-star.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of influencers.
You're not going to be going into any Michelin restaurants here in Burke, Virginia.
No,
right?
No. So the next thing, so Burke can kind of feel boring and quiet. Now, some people that might be the entire reason why they want to go to Burke, but other people like yourself, you want to go. He's always out in DC. He's.
I'm a young
moving
guy.
around.
Yeah, moving around, dude. But it's worth it if you want to build equity.
Yeah. So you're probably building some great equity here. He can rent it out, and then he can. When you need to buy in Arlington, you can hit me up.
Damn right, dude.
And we'll use Pruitt title as well.
That's right.
So it's definitely not as many like younger buyers here. It's not the buzzworthy like Instagram lifestyle in Burke. Although the way you can do videos nowadays, you can make anything look great. So with all the nature and trees and ponds and lakes, I saw a video of Burke Lake and I was like, I thought that it looked like it was out in Alaska or something. It was so scenic. Yeah, I was
really
like, that's
gorgeous.
Burke Lake. They
It's
had
a huge
it, like,
lake, dude.
They had it from the aerial view.
It's a really big lake.
Yeah, I was impressed because I always thought of Burke Lake as just like, so I don't know, just a little lake and whatever, but it was like super scenic. Anyways, next up, there's no downtown core, so there's not like a main street, and well, I guess you have like kind of like a busier road in Burke, but it's not like some small town main street kind of thing. It's going to be residential, strip malls, and then like some busier roads that you're going to get to these streets.
Yeah, there's no central gathering place. Although, like, they do have like a yearly, like, festival or whatever at the Burke Center Conservatory. There are community events.
Okay.
It's just not like a quad.
Do you go to a lot of community events?
No, dude, I don't go to any events.
Yeah. All right. Next up, the VRE parking can fill up. So that's something you don't really take. Do you ever take the VRE?
I've never taken the VR.
Okay, so
Not once.
So when you get to DC, you always Uber.
Yeah.
Because you're always going out to
Dude,
different.
I'm not.
You're going to concerts at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, I'm not taking that train.
Yeah.
I'll take the metro, but there's
Okay.
no close. Again, there's no metro close to here, so.
Right.
I think if you were to metro here, you would get off on the Springfield Metro,
Yeah.
and you would Uber here, right? That's what you would do.
If I was not driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that the metro stop you get off?
Yeah. If I don't take the metro too often, but yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. Next up, there's not a lot of like new construction homes in Burke. Like you see in McLean, Falls Church, Arlington, you see all these like $2 million brand new construction. I've seen a couple maybe like over the last year, maybe there was like 2 or 3 that were like built within the last few years. And I'm sure you'll start to see more, but there's really not. Really, it's going to be more of the 70s to 90s houses that are just kind of like renovated. People do some nice renovations.
Yeah, and then there are custom homes.
there are some, yeah.
Yeah. But like especially close to Burke Lake, dude, you get some nice houses.
Yeah.
Like right on the border with Great Falls.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
see some nice houses over there.
Yeah, there was a 10,000 square foot house in Burke that sold a couple of years ago. It's got to be the biggest house in Burke, and I think it was like a palace.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's some like multi-million-dollar houses right there, kind of close to Lake Burke or Burke Lake.
Burke, you think of as much more affordable, but yeah, once you get out, closer to like Clifton, you can definitely get some more of those like super high-end ones. Next up, the disc golf and park areas can get crowded on the weekends. So
I've never
That's not even your
experience
scene,
that.
really.
I mean, I go to the golf course all the time. That's one thing.
You play golf or disc golf?
Golf, like,
Okay.
well, 'cause it's all like on the same park. It's all like together.
And
They've got a sweet driving range, nice golf course.
Does it get
it's
too
actually
crowded?
not really nice. It's kind of a golf course.
It's
But,
public.
Yeah, no.
What do you expect?
It's like a nice driving range, though.
Okay.
It gets kind of crowded, but it's nice. It's like affordable.
Yeah. Okay. Next hate is there's fewer like job hubs nearby, so you're commuting everywhere. So you're either going to commute to Tyson's for work, like you commute to Tyson's. You're going to commute to Arlington. You're going to commute to DC, Alexandria. You're not like commuting. Nobody commutes to Burke for a job. You commute out of Burke.
Unless you live in like, unless you work in Fairfax or something. There are companies in Fairfax.
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah.
We talked about this already, but it's a competitive market in Burke. You're gonna like escalation clauses, waiving home inspections, closing as fast as possible, pulling out all the different tools available,
Waiving financing contingencies.
waiving financing. And you can reach out to my team and I below because we have like 10 different strategies that we use. Like, because sometimes it just comes down to like, sometimes you'll have like 3 or 4 offers and they're all like very similar, but it'll just be like 1 or 2 small things that kind of make the difference. Sometimes it might even just be knowing the agent and they know you have a good track record. That can be the difference between getting the deal or not. Or sometimes using a good title company. If the offer is completely the same, use a well-respected title company like Pruitt Title, and the seller knows Pruitt Title. That can,
No, I mean, dude, being on the title side and seeing, being the neutral third party that just kind of sees all of these transactions go over the finish line, you see how much representation matters. You really do.
Yeah. It's important to have every possible factor in an offer going your way, because you can miss out on a dream house because your lender didn't call the listing agent when you submitted the offer, and then now the listing agent can't get in touch with the lender. I just had this happen where my client was like, oh yeah, the lender will just call him on Monday when he opens up. I'm like, we have to have a lender that is working on the weekends, working 24/7. It's communicated, that actually responds to emails and phone calls and texts. I know it's a crazy thing to actually respond to people these days, but you need a lender like that, a title company agent, everything. Another comment, this is actually from Reddit. They said, if you're looking for a travel or entertainment destination, Burke isn't that. It's a place to live, not a place to visit. So maybe you'd go to the lake. Maybe you go visit the lake. Maybe you can get go on a hot date at the lake, golf, swimming, invite her to the pool.
I don't think anybody's booking flights to Burke.
Yeah. So overall, Burke is a great place to live. If you want the scenic, quiet, get a little more space, a little bit further outside that residential neighborhood. It's incredible. You don't go to Burke for the nightlife or the restaurant scene.
If you own property and you want to own more than one and you just want, you're just taking a pit stop, I think Burke's a great place. That's why I bought here. I'm not planning to live here forever, but I'll live here 3 or 4 years to own a house here.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Because it's a good place to own a property and it's a good place to rent one. But I would not buy this being like, I'm going to finish this 30-year mortgage here the entire time. Like, no way, dude.
Right. He's going to be moving back to Arlington soon, but he's going to easily rent this out and he's going to build a ton of equity, and he probably already has. So thanks for watching this video. Let us know if you left anything out, and we promised you that we'll show you the dog. So I think you got to go get your dog now. Let's go find him real quick.
That's facts.
Hold on for 1 second.
Puppy. We need him for this video.
All right. Oh, look at this little guy. He's going to get adopted so quickly. So tell us
this
real
guy,
quick
his name's Tad.
What's up? Nice to meet you, Ted.
Me and my homie that I live with have been fostering dogs for the last year, and we just got his dog brother adopted this past month. Still need a home for this guy.
He's gonna get adopted.
His name's Ted. He's awesome. Wolf Trap Animal Rescue is the rescue we work with in Vienna. So we're always walking around our fosters in Burke.
Yeah. So if you need a foster, if you're looking to adopt in Burke, reach out to Will. He's got you covered.
You see, he's on the table now. Look, buddy.
Like, you're famous now.
You're on YouTube, dude.
Should we get Ted his own YouTube?
Yeah, bro, we should. Look at those ears.
Oh, he's a cutie. All right, Ted, wave goodbye to everybody.
Bye.
We'll see you on the next video. Make sure you subscribe and reach out if you guys have any questions.